They're going back to college. 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 What is up, awesome people of the internet? Y'all, today we're going to talk about college and the active WNBA players that have decided to go back to college and help educate the next generation of women's basketball players. And we got a lot of them, so let's get into it. We first start off with the Chicago Sky's Kahleah Copper, who landed a coaching gig at her alma mater. You're looking at the new women's basketball director of athletic culture and professional development at Rutgers. Long title, right? In her new role, Kahleah will play a key role in helping student athletes develop and prepare for careers on the next level. Her responsibilities include aiding in recruiting efforts, organizing alumni events, fundraising, and community outreach opportunities. She will also assist with on-court workouts. After the announcement was made, Rutgers head coach Coquise Washington said that Kahleah is an unquestioned winner and one of the best players in the world. Bringing her championship knowledge and experience to our gym on a daily basis is something that our players are eager to soak up. It's exciting to imagine all the ways Kahleah will positively impact our program. And for Ka, for sure, she loves Rutgers. She said, "My blood runs scarlet, and I can't wait to be back on campus helping this program that is so important to me. I'm grateful to Rutgers and the coaching staff for entrusting me with the responsibility, and I will pour everything I have into our players and lean in on everything that I have learned in my career to help reach their highest level, both on and off the court." Now, if you don't remember Copper, she was an amazing player at Rutgers. During her time playing for C. Vivian Stringer, Copper finished her Rutgers career third on Rutgers' all-time scoring list, only behind Sue Wicks and Cappie Pondexter. Last year, Copper helped lead the Chicago Sky to the playoffs, averaging 20 points and 7.5 rebounds. Rutgers nabbing Copper is a huge deal, just like it is with everybody that we're going to talk about on this list, because you have a person who has been where these players were. And also, we have a person who is at a level that a lot of the players aspire to. So having a active WNBA player helping college students develop is giving them wisdom for what is to come, basically, if they do pursue the WNBA. And also, in general, it's just kind of cool to have an active WNBA player with the program, because not only does it help for the current players who are there, it also serves as an awesome recruiting opportunity as well. Having active WNBA players on with your program, you can use that as a recruiting tool for incoming players. But Copper isn't the only player who has gone back to college. She's just one of a growing amount of players deciding to spend their offseason on campus. Maryland has a new coach as well. Their alum, Brionna Jones of the Connecticut Sun, has returned to campus with a new role as well. Brionna will serve as the director of player personnel for Maryland. In her role, Brionna is doing, quote, "whatever they need from me. I just want to be here to give it to them. Whether it's on the court, off the court, it's whatever aid I can help. That's what I want to do." Head coach of Maryland, Brenda Frese, knows Brionna very well because she coached her. When Brionna was at Maryland from 2013 to 2017, she was great. She helped the Terps get back-to-back Final Fours. She also helped the team win 3 straight Big Ten regular season and tournament titles. She's currently the number 3 in the program for career rebounds. Now, talking about Brenda Frese and Brionna returning to Maryland, Brenda says, "I feel like we've hit the lottery. What an opportunity for us to be able to utilize an all-star and pro in our program. Our student athletes will be able to gain so many valuable insights from her. It's a great day to be a Terp. This past WNBA season, Brionna was injured for the majority of the season, but before her injury, she averaged 15.9 points and 8.2 rebounds for Connecticut. She was also the 6th player of the year in 2022. And again, similar to Kahleah Copper, this is a big deal for her alma mater to help the next generation of players develop, again, for the next level. And players aren't just going to their alma maters, they're also going to new schools as well. The Washington Mystics' Ariel Atkins is now the assistant coach for player development at Michigan. Now, if you're wondering why Michigan, well, Ariel connected with Michigan head coach Kim Barnes-Arico while playing for USA Basketball. Coach Kim saw Ariel's coaching potential and brought her to Michigan, saying, "It says a lot about our program, our players, and our coaches that someone like Ariel wants to be a part of it. She knows what it takes to get to the next level and can help our players understand that both on and off the court. She's a winner who wants to help grow the game of basketball, and I am so excited she chose to come to the University of Michigan." If you don't know, Ariel played for Texas in college, so she went from being a Longhorn to a Wolverine. So a huge jump in programs, but Ariel is really excited for the opportunity. When the announcement was originally made, Ariel said, "I'm excited to join the Michigan staff, working next to Coach Arico, being on the other side of the ball and sharing my knowledge and experience with the players." Now we go from Michigan to Minnesota, where Rachel Banham has been elevated this year to an assistant coach, as well as continuing her role as the director of quality control. Now, Rachel originally played for Minnesota in college, where she was just a walking bucket. She still holds to this day numerous records for Minnesota. Rachel decided to rejoin the program on staff in 2022 as the director of quality control. Now, yes, this is a very odd title, but in this role, she does, quote, quality control checks on the day-to-day operations. She also helps with practice, game preparation, stat analysis, and more. Now, it totally makes sense that Rachel got elevated to an assistant coach because she's literally Minnesota royalty, with just some huge stats when she was in college. So the hope is that she will help to elevate the program through her mentorship of the players so that eventually some of them are able to achieve some of the stuff that Rachel did at Minnesota. Also, Rachel currently plays for the Minnesota Lynx, which has an extremely close relationship to the University of Minnesota. It's kind of like a pilot program of sorts. Like there have been so many Minnesota players, Minnesota University players who have played for the Minnesota Lynx. You also had Lindsay Whalen, who was the head coach of Minnesota, the University of Minnesota for a little while after being a big player for the Minnesota Lynx. So there's definitely a big connection between the Minnesota Lynx and University of Minnesota. It's probably the closest connection to a college and WNBA team that exists in the WNBA. Like, I'm not sure of any other program that is that close to a college program. So I think having Rachel play for the Minnesota Lynx definitely probably played a role in keeping Rachel in the state as well. Okay, so we are going from the Big Ten to the SEC and Florida in particular, where former Kentucky player and current Atlanta Dream player Rhyne Howard is an assistant coach. And to be more specific, she is Florida's assistant coach and director of player personnel. Yes, all these players seem to have some really interesting titles at their college programs. So the reason why Ryan picked Florida is in part due to her mother, RJ Avery, who actually played at Florida, and she was really, really good at Florida, and she still holds some program records to this day. So that for sure was a factor in Ryan choosing to coach at Florida. Now, we all know she attended Kentucky, but she wanted some sort of connection with Florida. And when the announcement was made, she said, when you really think about it, everything is full circle. My mom was a Gator herself, and I've been on this campus multiple times, but to actually be able to wear the orange and blue, I know it's making her proud. I know it's making everyone who thought I was originally going to be a Florida Gator proud. I always knew at some point that I would have a connection back with the school, and just to be here and to be loved and to feel how much of a family it is already just confirmed all of that. Now, staying in the South, going from Florida to Texas, we have Chicago Sky's Ruthy Hebard, who is now TCU's assistant coach. Now, if you're wondering why TCU, well, because as I said in a previous video, TCU is the new Oregon. Ruthy went to Oregon when she was in college, and she played for now TCU head coach Mark Campbell. So now that Mark Campbell has left Oregon, gone to TCU, he has brought a ton of former Oregon players and coaching staff to TCU. When talking about the program and Ruthy joining it, Mark said, "It comes full circle. You get to coach these kids during their journey, and now they come back and you get to be on the trenches with them on the coaching side." If you don't know, in 2023, Ruthy Hebard had a baby and was late to joining the Chicago Sky. And she decided not to go overseas. Many players on this list that I'm sort of going down, like many of these players have played overseas, including Ruthy Hebard. But it makes sense with her new baby and whatnot that she didn't want to go overseas and wanted to stay in the U.S. And found a great coaching gig at TCU. Now, going overseas is a thing that a lot of WNBA players do. Most WNBA players do. And lately we're starting to see more and more players opt to find stuff to do in the US that does not involve them going overseas. And Ruthy Hebard is an example of that. Now, moving on to another player who is now playing for their former coach, we go to the Connecticut Sun's Natisha Hiedeman, who got a promotion at Penn State. Last year, Natisha served as the director of player development, and this year she has been promoted to an assistant coach role. Now, Natisha played for Marquette when she was in college, which is where now Penn State head coach Carolyn Krieger coached at. And as we know, Natisha was amazing at Marquette, and it made sense that her former coach would want to hire her. In this role as an assistant coach, Natisha's main focus will be on developing Penn State's guards. After the announcement was made, Coach Krieger said, "Having a starting point guard in the WNBA as one of our coaches is an invaluable asset to our program." And she's right. That's a huge deal when Natisha will be able to kind of help these guards and coach them up to a place where they can be not only successful at the college level, but also they can have a chance when it comes to the WNBA as well. And last but not least, we have current LA Spark and former UConn Husky, Katie Lou Samuelson, who is continuing her role as the director of player development at Vanderbilt. Now, she started this position last January, and in her role, she assists the women's basketball staff in a non-coaching capacity in all areas of the program, including game preparation, player development, and on-campus recruiting. So there you have it, guys. We have Kahleah at Rutgers, Rhyne Howard at Florida, Ariel Atkins at Michigan, Rachel Banham at Minnesota, Brionna Jones at Maryland, Katie Lou Samuelson at Vanderbilt, Natisha Hiedeman at Penn State, and Ruthy Hebard at TCU. Now, if you all are wondering why so many active WNBA players decided to join college staff as assistant coaches largely, I would sum it up to two reasons. Most of these players I mentioned, as I said earlier, they played overseas during the WNBA offseason in the past. And this season, they wanted to spend the offseason in the USA. And another reason that they likely got these roles is the fact that this season, the NCAA, they changed their rule to allow D1 programs to add 2 additional coaching spots for women's basketball and also for men's basketball. So programs are all around the country promoted either existing staff to an assistant coach role or they went out and hired new coaches, hence teams adding current WNBA players. All right, guys, there you have it. That is the video. I believe I've captured all of the current WNBA players coaching at college programs. However, if I am missing a player, let me know in the comments below. Also, in the comments, let me know what you all think about the idea that so many WNBA players are getting an opportunity to dive into coaching as a player. Do you ultimately think that this will improve programs' recruiting efforts by having current WNBA players coaching? And also, could you see some of these coaches in the future when they decide to retire from being an active player? Could you see them going straight into a head coach role? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you have not hit that like button, I would like to ask that you do that. It really, really helps people find the channel. And more importantly, if you can actually share this video with someone, that would be even better. As always, I really, really thank you all and thank each and every person who has watched this video and made it to the end point. Like that's truly amazing. Shout out to y'all. I truly do appreciate y'all taking out your time to watch a video and learn something interesting about women's basketball. I pray that you guys have an amazing rest of your day. And until next time, guys, bye.